In upstate New York, the Winchesters, Nina and Andrew present themselves as the picture of perfection, living a life of wealth, privilege, and comfort alongside their young daughter Cecilia, a bright-eyed 7-year-old. But beneath the pristine surface, the family harbors a darkness that clings to every corner of the house, a secret carefully hidden behind manicured gardens, polished floors, and the polite smiles of their social circles. Into this carefully controlled world steps Millie, a young woman desperate to keep her parole intact after serving 10 years for manslaughter, who jumps at the chance to work as the family's live-in housekeeper. Her background, if checked, would reveal a criminal record and a history of deception. Yet Nina welcomes her without hesitation, an act that both confuses and unnerves Millie.
You're not wearing your glasses.
Oh, I don't wear them all the time.
Millie moves into a small attic room tucked at the edge of the mansion, a space that is strangely self-contained, complete with a door that locks only from the outside, a detail that instantly raises her suspicions. Despite the oddities, she throws herself into her duties, cooking, cleaning, and caring for Cecilia, whose innocence contrasts sharply with the tension she senses around her.
Juice, but this glass is dirty.
As Millie navigates the daily routines of the household, she meets Enzo, the groundskeeper, whose presence is commanding yet unsettling. When Millie introduces herself, Enzo delivers a quiet, pointed warning. She doesn't belong here, as if sensing the dangers hidden behind the family's polished facade.
What are you doing here?
The mansion, with its shadows and secrets, seems to watch her every move, and Millie quickly realizes that her new position is far more dangerous than she ever imagined. It wasn't long before her attention shifts from the chores to Nina herself. Nina's behavior is unpredictable, sharp, and, at times, downright cruel.
Nina! Where are they?
Her every action seeming designed to push Millie to the edge, to remind her at every turn that she is an outsider in this gilded cage. Every day brings a new torment. Harsh criticisms over minor mistakes, unreasonable demands.
A couple hours off and I'll come back.
Millie, absolutely not.
And moments of cold, unprovoked hostility that leave Millie constantly on edge, wondering what she's done to deserve it. Yet even amid the tension and fear, Millie can't help but notice Andrew, Nina's husband, whose calm charm, patience, and striking presence stand in stark contrast to his wife's volatility. He treats her with kindness, offers her a listening ear.
Got something for you. Cece insisted.
And in the quiet moments when Nina is elsewhere, he becomes a lifeline, a glimpse of warmth in a house that seems built on control and hidden menace. As she spends more time in the mansion, Millie starts to uncover the darker layers of Nina's past. She learns that years ago Nina was admitted to a psychiatric facility after a horrifying incident in which she allegedly left Cece to drown in a bathtub and overdosed on pills in a suicide attempt. Andrew had called the authorities in time, saving Cece's life, and since then has quietly shouldered the weight of both Nina's recovery and Cece's well-being. It becomes clear that if Nina and Andrew were to separate, Andrew would likely gain custody of Cece, though the girl is technically Nina's from a previous relationship. This revelation adds a tense complexity to Millie's growing feelings for Andrew as she navigates a web of past trauma, parental duty, and the unspoken, dangerous lines of desire that run through the mansion. The tension escalates when Nina, at least apparently, instructs Millie to book tickets for a Broadway musical and a hotel stay for the family. Millie does as asked, only to have Nina later deny ever giving the instruction, leaving Millie second-guessing herself and questioning the boundary between Nina's whims and deliberate manipulation.
No, I didn't. And I assume that these are non-refundable now?
When Nina takes Cece to ballet camp, Millie and Andrew seize the opportunity to attend the show alone, enjoying dinner together and retreating to the hotel for a private escape from the oppressive household. Their connection, once subtle and careful, deepens into intimacy, a dangerous spark in a house filled with suspicion. The reprieve is short-lived. Back home, Nina discovers their absence through the cell phone she gifted Millie, and the confrontation erupts with shocking intensity. What begins as a tense discussion quickly escalates into a violent and emotional blowout, leaving the household in turmoil. Andrew, finally pushed to his limit, demands that Nina leave the house and offers Millie a permanent place by his side, effectively shifting the balance of power in the household.
I would like you to leave.
In the aftermath, Millie and Andrew continue their clandestine romance. The mansion's walls now witness not only secrets and cruelty, but also a forbidden love that grows stronger amid the chaos, leaving Millie acutely aware that every choice she makes carries risk, and that surviving this family may mean risking everything for the one person who offers her a sense of belonging and warmth.
And I want to help you out.
For a short while, Millie thinks she's hit the jackpot. A chance at a clean slate, maybe even freedom from her past. That morning, she wakes early, determined to make Andrew breakfast in bed, but freezes mid-step when she sees Enzo, the Winchester groundskeeper, staring at her through the window with an intensity that makes her skin crawl. She drops the tray in shock. Eggs, toast, and coffee fly across the floor. One plate from Andrew's mother's heirloom china shatters, splintering into 21 sharp pieces. Andrew, furious, fires Enzo on the spot. He tells Millie to gather the shards and save them for his plate guy, leaving her with the dangerous task.
Don't throw any of these out. Okay?
That night, he returns to find the pieces still in a bag. He asks her why she didn't wash them. Millie hesitates. She replies she didn't want to get cut, but Andrew's response is far from normal. He later persuades her to the attic, pours her a drink, gets her drunk, and locks the door behind her. When Millie wakes, the attic is silent. The door is locked from the outside. From the stairwell, Andrew's voice cuts through the quiet. To be let out, she must carve 21 long, deep lines into her stomach, one for each fragment of the shattered plate with a jagged shard. It's sadistic. It's horrifying.
Andrew, come on, is this a game?
I wish it was.
Millie realizes she's trapped with a man who will stop at nothing to control her. Meanwhile, Nina, long buried under years of torment, is finally claiming her freedom. She picks up Cece and explains the truth in a letter she wrote to her daughter. Nina fell for Andrew while raising Cece alone, but behind closed doors, he revealed the darkness she never expected. He forced her to dye her hair blonde. When she failed, he locked her in the attic, making her pull out 100 hairs from her own scalp, only to demand more when he claimed one was missing.
One of the strands didn't have a follicle, so you have to start again.
He drugged her, framed her for trying to kill Cece and herself, and sent her to a psychiatric hospital, continuing the torment while presenting himself as the perfect husband. No one believed her story except for Enzo,
Enzo was my only connection to the outside world.
who tried in vain to convince her to escape. Desperate and cunning, Nina sees an opportunity in Millie. She knows Andrew will be drawn to her, the young, beautiful, vulnerable housekeeper who looks and feels like everything he craves. But Nina also knows Millie is not fragile. Millie is dangerous, capable of murder. The crime that landed her in prison as a teen, a boy dead after attacking her roommate, was never believed,
I didn't mean to kill him.
leaving her branded as a monster. Now, in this twisted household, Nina places Millie where she can survive and, perhaps, strike back. She might be Andrew's undoing, and Millie might just be the one to change everything. Now back to Millie and Andrew. For days, the tension has been building like a storm, and finally, Millie breaks. She obeys his sick instructions, carving the lines into her stomach with the jagged shard. Each cut a mix of fear, fury, and calculation. She slides the bloody plate fragment under the door, just as he ordered, pretending submission while her mind races with plans of her own. When Andrew finally enters the room and finds her resting on the bed, exhausted and vulnerable in appearance, Millie hides her true intentions behind a mask of understanding. In a single, shocking moment, she seizes a nearby cheese knife and drives it into his neck. The room erupts into chaos. A violent struggle follows, but Millie's planning and quick reflexes give her the upper hand. She grabs Andrew's phone and the remaining knives, locks him inside the attic, and suddenly, the hunter becomes the hunted. She commands him to pull out a front tooth with pliers, breaking more of the precious china in the process.
Millie, stop it! Millie, stop!
And threatens to burn the attic if he resists. Each of Andrew's desperate pleas only fuels her resolve. Just when it seems she has total control, Cece, terrified yet brave, hints at finding help, and Nina appears, slipping inside the house to unlock the attic, still believing Millie is trapped. Andrew lunges at them, fury in his eyes, but Millie reappears, striking decisively and pushing him down the staircase.
Pleasure's all mine.
Nina drops a light bulb from above, making it appear as if he fell while fixing the chandelier, a final illusion to hide the violence from the world. The aftermath is tense and uncertain. A policewoman notices inconsistencies in Nina's story, aware that Andrew was dangerous and controlling, but chooses to let the death slide, ruling it an accident. No one truly knows the full truth, leaving shadows and questions lingering in the mansion. After the funeral, Nina gives Millie a $100,000 check, a reward, and a test of loyalty, before leaving with Cece to begin a new life free from Andrew's shadow. She mentions a friend whose husband is abusive, suggesting Millie's skills might be needed again, and Millie, calm but calculating, simply asks when she can start. And there you have it. Millie's presence in the world is far from over.
Nina Winchester recommended you very highly.
Who will cross her path next? And what will she do when she does? Like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to follow more stories like this?